larger, come get inspired, larger, just like a star, larger, here with all these larger, just make you larger, still exhaust the larger, come have some fun, larger, needs to work, larger, you know where it comes. Hey, everybody. I don't know how to get my intro in here into YouTube, so I just played it from my video things. Let me go down here real quick because I'm going to play this video again. Hey, Grand Rising, Curvies. Grand Rising, Grand Rising. You know what? Let's get this. Is it going to come up here? There we go. Well, that's playing. Hey, everybody. How are you guys? You know, dude, when there's nothing on that I feel like watching, I'm like, oh my gosh, there's nothing to talk about. But there's a lot to talk about. Yesterday, we came on here and we went live about Married to Medicine, the favorite show on Bravo. And let me make sure we can hear me. And we went live over there, and it was a fun live. A lot of people came through.
The fall season is right around.
Let me see what's up with this. And so what we're doing today. Yeah, we can hear me. So what we're doing today is we're going to watch that video separate because that was a 4 or 5 hour live yesterday. And within the live, Dr. Heavenly went live, and she was giving us some behind the scenes tea because there's this like bot narrative going right now that the best show on Bravo is reduced to a 4-ring circus full of mean girls. I'm like, really, bitch? And you know who started the rumor is old Phae Phae. Phae Phae, yeah, Phae Phae. So ever since she's been saying that in her confessionals, I've been getting inundated on my YouTube feed with creators I've never heard of before. I'm not interested in their ass. I'm not interested because all they do is clickbait stories about how Quad is fired, Dr. Heavenly's fired, and all this other shit. So I have been like noticing that it feels like there's a campaign against my favorite show on Bravo. And that does not make me happy, you guys. That actually saddens me that it feels like they're trying to take this show about Black excellence and reduce it to rubble. And I don't appreciate it because I'm Black and I'm excellent. And I think that we need to see more Black excellence on these reality shows instead of Black harmful stereotypes. You know what I'm saying? And so I have a whole life. I'm invested, but only to a point. People want to act like just because you have thoughts on something, like you don't do anything else in your life. I have thoughts, and there are strong feelings behind the way I feel, the way I feel. Like I'm a strong proponent and a believer of the truth. It might hurt, but let's just hurry up and get to it. Let's get to it so we can move through it and get to the other side. Because if you're in the habit of bullshitting and skirting around the truth, then the chances for your evolution, my evolution within the situation are lessened because we haven't even got to the fucking truth of the matter for us to be able to deal with some stuff. That's part of why I love Dr. Heavenly, because we get to the truth. It might not be all, and that's what people's problem is. I'm like, I be windmilling in the streets. I'm like, but she just tells the truth. What's her problem? Well, it's the way she says it ends up being the bottom line of the people who have a problem with the truth. Not only do they have a problem with the truth, but then they want their truth delivered in something palatable, covered in sugar and syrup, so that they can digest said truth, right? And I'm like, but it doesn't have to be like that. People don't have time to repackage the truth for us in life. Let's just fucking get to it. Time is of the essence here. Did you not notice that we're on a time limit here? We don't know when the next breath isn't going to come. So let's just get to that shit, keep it moving, and heal and move on. Don't spin me in a web of lies and delusion so you can avoid the truth that I want to get to so that I can evolve. That's not how this shit is done. The only reason even soap operas worked was because they lied so much. Had Erica Kane told the truth one time, there wouldn't have been All My Children. Over on Guiding Light, had Reba told the truth one time, the storyline wouldn't have lasted that long because soap operas formulas are based off of lies. And I kind of feel like I've noticed that a long time ago. I noticed a long time ago that watching soap operas, the people that watch soap operas in my life, you guys might be too young to know, but there used to be this thing called daytime TV for the stay-at-home moms. And on daytime TV, you could see what they called soap operas, right? That were exactly how not to act in real life. You watched a soap opera, and then you were supposed to not do that in real life because your life would be fucked up like a soap opera. And the premise of all of them is lies, deceit, hiding. Had you just told the truth that you got drunk and slept with Bob, then 11 years later, when your baby needs a bone marrow transplant, it wouldn't be such a shock when you find out that Bob's the baby's daddy. You know what I'm saying? I hope you're following what I'm saying. I'm just trying to give you some like meat as to why I feel this way. Because people even be in my chat talking about, oh, don't get your high blood pressure. Oh, don't do this. And that's not going to happen. I'm just very passionate about the truth. Okay. And so people come back to me and they're like, oh, well, it's not what Dr. Heavenly says. It's how she says it. Excuse me, bitch. Are you telling the police how to talk to you? Are you telling your boss how to talk to you that you need a moment for them to repackage that order? Are you telling anybody else in your life, or are you only telling certain people that you need it a whole other way? You see what I'm saying? Anyway, so yesterday we were over here talking about Married to Medicine because I've been getting all these strange suggestions for a video. And I was like, let me counteract this because this is bullshit. My favorite show on Bravo is not full of mean girls. My favorite show on Bravo has a mean girl president, and her name is Phaedra Parks, the traitor, the traitoress. Won an Emmy for being a traitor, Phaedra Parks. Won an Emmy for being a liar face, traitor, Phaedra Parks. Everybody agrees. Everybody agrees so far in the streets of cyberspace that it's apparent why Phaedra Parks would have won Traitors. That it was right in her wheelhouse. That it's based off of the characters that she presented on Real Housewives of Atlanta on her way out of that door. And the backstories as to how she treats people all give super traitor. Super traitor. No wonder she finally won an Emmy for being a traitor. She's fake. She's phony. She's traitorous. A lie ability starts with lie for a reason. If you have the ability to lie, then I can't trust you, and that's a problem, right? So, but there's these bot army full of just repeating whatever Phaedra says, like it's the truth, without consideration of her history of not being the most honest person. Everything. And then I had a friend over here yesterday and she's like, name me what Phaedra lied about. And I kept naming them. They were like, yeah, but. Okay. So the woman definitely, we met her lying about when she was pregnant. And somebody might say, oh, that doesn't matter. We don't deserve to know that. Well, then we don't deserve to know why Karen Huger decided to not tell us that she was guilty on a national television. It's like you can't pick and choose. You got to be consistent, right? So Phaedra needs to tell the truth. She says that they're mean girls. We saw Phaedra accept a call from Heavenly when Heavenly said, oh, my titties look good today, don't they? Remember? And her same titties that move more than freaking Toya Bush Harris, yes, be moving all over Atlanta, just jumping around. And there was a scene where Phaedra got a call from Dr. Heavenly, and it was a FaceTime call, and Dr. Heavenly had her camera people get it on tape. Now, Phaedra must not have known that shit was on tape, because Phaedra's position is that the call never happened, that Heavenly invited Apollo, unbeknownst to her, to be a mean girl so that she wasn't supported, so that she could treat her poorly. And I'm like, none of that happened. And the only reason Dr. Heavenly isn't being dragged across the street, she's getting dragged a lot, but the only reason it's not worse is because the 8th housewife did a couple flashbacks for the people in the back, the Delulu people, who refused to act like that call really even happened. Or will even be better yet, they'll be like, oh, the call happened, but it's still somehow Dr. Heavenly's a mean girl for Phaedra playing in our faces. Y'all should be mad at Phaedra for playing in our faces on the best show on Bravo. I told you yesterday how my ideal is that she might be a cooler. Somebody might have sent her over to the best excellent Black excellence show on Bravo to muddy it up and smuck it up. Because we did not need her. She didn't resuscitate shit. Did you know that CPR requires action? She did nothing. She gave nothing. Therefore, she revived nothing, because she would have needed to put in action, not just words. You can't revive somebody with shade and rehearsed shade in a confessional. You can only revive a show that you say is on the flat line. We were fine without you, Phaedra. You begged to be on the show, Phaedra. Call Quad. We looked also at the Quad parade interview yesterday, where Quad confirmed that, yes, Phaedra's a snake in the fucking grass when it comes to other Black women who are more than her. And I said it more. If you think about it, Quad is over Phaedra. Quad's been on TV longer than Phaedra consistently. Phaedra got benched for 5 years after being a liar, you guys. So then she calls Quad and asked to get on freaking Married to Medicine, and then decided that she needed to replace Quad on Quad's show. And I said it, yeah, that's Quad's show. She's been there since season 1. And she went and got a group of the ladies together and was like, well, yeah, they tried to kick her out of Napa last year, so why don't you guys just let me be the new Quad? Nobody's going to film with her. Look. And she got the gaggle together. And in my mind, the gaggle is everybody but Dr. Heavenly, which Dr. Heavenly confirmed. She said everybody got called to the meeting but her. And then Dr. Heavenly said that Dr. Jackie told her what the meeting was about. Dr. Jackie confirmed on Watch What Happens Live that she did, in fact, tell Heavenly. And she should have known not to tell Heavenly anything, because Heavenly can't hold water. So it's all been confirmed by people who don't lie, that the person that lies is stirring up some ruckus again. And I need the people in the back to pay attention, because this is some bullshit. How are you going to come muck up the waters in the clearest water on the show on Bravo? Everything was crystal clear. And then we get Phaedra's conniving lying ass over here with her mean girl bully tactics. Everything she said in her confessional has been mean. What would her friend Ken say? White meat mean. Cut to the white meat mean. Calling people the devil, disparaging their business practices, just all kind of things. Anything to make Phaedra's position over educated, rich, established Black excellence in Atlanta. Anything to make her over that is acceptable for her. She's selfish, she's backstabbing, and she's mean. And she's a fucking user at this point. She used the Dubai. She used the freaking Real Housewives of I mean, she used the women on Married to Medicine. She's a user. She asked Chanel Ayan and Carolyn Brooks, oh, can I come on Dubai? And then the next time at BravoCon, which is interesting to me that Bravo would keep a con like Phaedra in their good graces while they relegate Nene, who hasn't lied. Nene hasn't lied, but they'll take their chances on a known liar. And she's been invited to all the Bravo cons, right? And at the BravoCon, somebody asked her something about it. And the same person that she begged to get on Dubai is now the most irrelevant housewife. Chanel Ayan told us in her Page 6 interview. Phaedra begged to be on the show. They work her in a couple episodes. She comes on, she makes a round talking about, that's when she said the Titanic was Real Housewives of Atlanta, and no, she wouldn't be returning to the Titanic. Even that was a lie, you guys. Her only thing was trying to get back to the Titanic. Just lie after lie after. Are you guys tired of the fucking lies yet? We don't need lies in Black excellence. Let's just deal with the truth. That's enough. Let's see. Thanks for being here. Miss Kiki, you're first in the house. Thank you. Happy Sunday. Kathy Farron, thanks for being here. Good morning, Bonita Howard. Hey, chat. Hey, Allie from Miami's in the house. Good morning, everybody. California Cuties in the house. You guys be sure you drop the links to your channels. California Cutie has a channel in these YouTube streets. I believe Allie from Miami has a channel. We can front load her channel if she's not putting up content yet. Go ahead and drop your channels. Because you know what I always say, there's enough to go around, because there is. Okay? So drop your links. Let's see. Phaedra brought the stock down on Married to Medicine. I couldn't have said it better, California Cutie. And probably going to do the same on Real Housewives of Atlanta. She adds nothing. You know how you get to a certain age and you want to be a woman of substance? Like you want to be the woman in Proverbs 31. We were talking about that woman last week on Sunday when I decided to do politics, which was a lot, you guys. I don't know. We might have to do that politics one every other week or something. It's a lot going over what the crazy house is doing now. That's a 3-ring circus. Okay. Not my good show over here on Bravo, though. This is not a 4-ring circus, but the administration, that's some 3-ring circus shit. And I don't know how much I can talk about it because it really gets me. Okay. Let's see. Quad is an OG and she also got Hexa toxic for a minute. Yep. She's it's like she is part of that toxicity reality moment, you know, that whole thing with Apollo and Ken and the back and forth and his pinkies and Ken's booty cheeks and all of that. Yeah, we went over it. I think they need some new blood on. Yeah, like they might just need to do a reboot and get away from all the old ninnies. Hey, I said it. Unless you're bringing Nene back, the OG old ninny, then I don't want to see Cynthia's cheekbones. Cynthia's always been boring, you guys. She's not going to save shit. She's not. And then you dust off Portia. She can't even film in her house, you guys. We can't even see Simon's property. She's going to have to be at lunch the entire time or at her other house where her mama lives. And they're about to get sued. They keep on talking shit about Simon in ICE detention center or not. His lawyers are still on the ready, bitches. On the ready. Besmirch is good name if you want to. And I don't know who else is lying on. That's some more shit. You guys, the only issue Simon really has is citizenship. And he's aware of that. We're aware of that. But I've been seeing a lot of stuff come out on Simon where he's broke. He's this. He's a scam. So why is Portia fighting so hard to stay in a legitimate property? Why is Portia fighting so hard to drive a legitimate Rolls Royce? If it's all a scam. You guys need to check shit. You need to do a balance in the freaking discussion because it doesn't make sense that Portia could be fighting the state in an illegally gotten thing in the midst of court, the shit would be seized already if it was really illegally gotten, you guys. It would have been. Anyway, the way Faye dropped Quad talking about the sinking shit. Hello, a user. She's a freaking user. Crab in a barrel is what comes to mind with Phaedra. She don't want nobody getting out ahead of her. She will grab them and snatch them back down into the bucket and use them to climb up on over the wall with. And then instead of reach back and get the claw, the crab she crawled over, she just leaves them all in the bucket to die. That's the shit. Phaedra is a self-serving person. And there's nothing wrong. Preservation, that's the only way you can get to the next day sometimes. However, it's obvious with the string of crabs she's left behind her that she's a user, you guys. She's a selfish user, and that's exactly how Quad described her, as somebody who's selfish and only out for her. We know that about Phaedra, since lying on Portia and Candy. Phaedra can go, right? I think they need some new blood. Yep. We said that's so truly amazing. Black women who take care of business would be a nice change of pace for sure, right? I was actually hyped up about Phaedra's return. I know, Joanne. We all got bamboozled, hoodwinked, all the other winks, okay? Maybe this should come up in a new reality show called The Housewife Outcast. Oh my God, California Cutie. Sit on that. Develop it. Put it in front of somebody. That sounds good. Maybe they could have a show called The Housewife Outcast, where it's all of the others, right? Yes, the link. You guys go smash your buttons, please. Let me see. There's a all Phae Phae seems to do is shake her booty meat. I'm gonna go ahead and show that. I don't know why that got held for review. I think that's a funny comment. I still don't see it though, but yeah, all she does is shake her booty meat. And then she goes from all prim and proper to now she's frack. Again, twerking frack. Stay on brand. So anyway, let's listen to what Dr. Heavenly has to say. Oh yeah, real quick. Also, Sweet and Sour this morning, she goes live every Sunday and only talks about Quad and Dr. Heavenly. She's obsessed, okay? Only talks about Quad and Dr. Heavenly and makes excuses for her man's behavior. And yeah, they might have a thing for you, Kathy. I don't know. I loosed your comment, but I don't see it on my end. No, it's not in about it, girl. It's all good. It's YouTube that's the problem. Censorship is a problem because you didn't say any of the words that I blocked. There's only a couple of words that I don't feel like hearing, and none of them were in the order that you said. And I thought your comment was hilarious. Yeah. Phae Phae seems to do is shake her booty meat. Why was that a bad comment? It's weird. Yeah, she goes on live. Yeah, you didn't know. Here, I'm gonna hurry up and go there before we get to Dr. Heavenly. Sweet tea, married to medicine. See, this is the thing that's been coming up. This like Keisha. See how it's the first thing that comes up? I feel like this is a paid advertisement plot against the women of Married to Medicine, because I already told this thing 85 times I'm not interested in this bitch. And I'm saying bitch with love because it's full of clickbait. I go in the comments, I'm like, clickbait, lies, Delulu much? And then I go here and I say, no, let me make it bigger because I don't want to see this shit. So you're supposed to be able to come over here and I'm supposed to be able to say not interested on this shit, which I've already said, but now it's not an option. But this right here, clickbait, I don't know how. And then it has 471 views. 30 minutes ago, this AI bot is talking shit again Look at this title. Dr. Heavenly Married to Medicine attempt to get Sweet Tea fired. She admits it. It's clickbait. So now I'm going to go ahead and click her shit. Unfortunately, it's going to look like traffic. And she has 76,000 things. She's never come up on my page before the Sandbar. Never. And now she keeps coming up on my page on the Sandbar, and it's all anti Dr. Heavenly, anti pro Portia, anti Dr. Heavenly, pro Phaedra, anti Dr. Jackie kind of content. Has anybody else been getting inundated with a clickbait channel like this? Anyway, let me get back to Sweet Tea. So she goes live here it is. She goes live every Sunday at 6:58 p.m., right as soon as the episode's over. And so tonight, and then she comes over here full of lies and delusion, in my humble opinion, because she just reiterates BS. Nobody's on you. Nobody's picking on you. It's all in your mind, and your freaking mind bending husband needs to help you, bitch, because yeah. So anyway, let's take a look at what she's going to talk about tonight.
Channel The Real Sweet Tea, and here you're going to get the real. So we got a lot to unpack. The truth, okay? I don't give a damn how many interviews we run around and do. Okay, so I just got off the phone with Toya. We just did a quick scene, and Toya basically was saying, like Quad was saying, that basically she said that, like, well, she said that, like, I don't know if Quad said it, but this is what Toya is telling me over the phone. And she was like, yeah, Quad is saying that when King approached Gregory, King, you know, he was like, well, Gregory said, I'm a physician, I don't want to fight. So, we got to talk about the couples trip. I know this don't look like what you expect. All right, we're going to the Sandbar.
Dr. G doesn't look too happy right now. And they look, she's trying to act like Quad, and watch this. She's going to be all kissing him, telling him, you are my world, you are my everything. And he's going to be like, okay, whatever. Watch this.
I kind of embarrassed myself earlier today because I said something ghetto and I didn't mean to say that. And when because it's beautiful. It's very pretty. We're going to the Sandbar. I don't know exactly what that entails, what that looks like. We're gonna have a great time. I love you, honey. In my world, in my whole world, just like you tell me, you know, my everything. Okay, babe. We got to talk about the couples trip. We got to.
You hear what he said? Okay, babe, I got the point. Is that what he said? Let's rewind it a little.
Okay, babe. We got to talk about the couples trip. We got to really unpack that. It's Monday, June 24th, and we are on our way back to Key West, back to the Highland. It got a little crazy. Let's just say that. I got into an argument today with Evelyn. I was asking Evelyn why she invited Sheree, and then she started spewing things about my husband. And, you know, it's just a lot went on at the Sandbar today. Yeah, we're back on the boat. We got Check and Phaedra here. I want you guys to keep an open mind and, you know, realize that these OGs, they do have a following, a bigger platform, but also I think that they run away from authenticity and what's actually.
Do you guys think the best show on Bravo has been authentic? Do you guys think that the ladies have been authentic? Do you guys think that Sweet Tea, sweet and sour, with all the whining she does, is more authentic than our good doctors on the best show on Bravo? Who is she to fucking say that they're not authentic? They're telling you the fucking truth. Your man is scum. You need to be careful. Look out, girl. Danger ahead. He treating you just like Quad. You even said the nigga's controlling. He pokes you with 2 times boards. You feel the need to take your womb that has yet to give birth and use that space to try to jump and fight a man with an 18-pack and Adonis belt and 15 times wood. But they're lacking something. I think you're lacking sense. That's what I think is getting lacked. I think you're lacking sense, sweet tea. Why are you need to be coddling your womb? You're not supposed to be going and trying to take your womb and jump on men and fight them. It's weird. And then to come back and try to, what is she? I'm telling you, there's this whole thing right now in our world, in society. It's like the phenomenon where you look around and for the nearest black person and blame them. It's like that, where we're like just looking around the world and whoever's has the most BS going on is now the ringleader. I don't understand. She comes on, she says she wants access to the money and then cries when we say that you might be he's a sugar daddy and that you're looking for security. She comes on the show and says they don't need the show. Her and Greg don't need the show. The other ladies need the show because they need the money. She be coming on her this same live right here. If you guys go to her channel and look at the past things, she be literally sitting on YouTube talking about her and Greg don't need the show because they don't need the money. The doctors who have been on the show for 10, 11 years need the show because they need a check. Is that authentic? Or is that you trying to be delusional and make yourself more than they are? And then she'll turn around and be like, I got a real job. I got a government job. Well, I don't know how much longer that's going to last. I don't know if she took that deferred resignation or if she needs to be in somebody's office by March 1st. With her good government job. I don't know. Looks like she might need the job now because the government's closing down. And then she says that she's telling the truth on her channel when I have yet to get what I saw on TV come out of her mouth. It's weird. Let's finish listening. She only has 25 more seconds.
Real. And a lot of people are just throwing things at a wall and seeing what sticks. Hey y'all, it's Sweet Tea.
Yeah, a lot of people like you. Okay, let's see. So yeah, she has a whole freaking channel. This is where she did this thing after I showed you guys this, how after Dr. G abused her on national TV, she didn't do a live the week that he poked her. And then she came back looking all pitiful like this right before the reunion got filmed, talking about she hasn't been doing so good. And I'm like, you think? You think? I mean, your man abused you on TV. What I witnessed is physical abuse. He poked her with a 2 times board. Verbal abuse. He told her to shut the fuck up multiple times and embarrassed her. Emotional abuse. That's part of the embarrassment and the humiliation. Emotional abandonment, when he blamed her and then walked away from her and then wouldn't answer her calls. Those are all huge red flags in the second year of a marriage to me. And I would be talking to my priest to see if I could get that shit annulled because we don't even have a child yet. I don't know if there would be a way. I was like, I hope Sweet Tea's daddy saw that and helped her. And now she's sitting in this live right here, blaming everybody but Dr. G, you guys. Stockholmed. She is fucking Stockholm. Somebody get old girl. She needs to blink twice. The girl needs help. Something's wrong. I don't know if there's a deficiency emotionally or mentally, or if Dr. G's been putting something in her. I don't know, just been working her mind so much to make her feel like this is acceptable. But listen to the excuses she's about to make for him. And then we'll go back to the bar. I'm going to speed it up because she talks slow. She talks very slow. We could put this shit on 1.75 and get it normal. Watch.
and the people was almost home, and they didn't get home. And I know, like, whenever your phone starts to turn on, and you have that.
Okay, that might be a little too
fast. Had like a SMS or iPhone text message, you can text your family, and the guy actually texted his wife. She was like, they were getting ready to land, and she didn't make it.
Can you hear that? Okay,
and
is that too fast?
Anxiety. Those things are scary for me. I still have family out in DC. I've driven around there so many times.
Tell me if it's too fast.
Passing DCA.
I need to hear her fast.
Going across that bridge, and I just can't imagine like being in that position. And not only if you're not in this world and been in this seat, you wouldn't be able to speak on it. You wouldn't understand. But it's just been a lot. Just being in this group has caused a lot of just amplified.
Awesome, thanks, cutie.
Really, never was ever really an issue. It never was an issue, especially when it came to my real life and my marriage. But I didn't want that to bleed over into my life, like my actual real life. But it's hard because I am just living life. I'm just being real. I'm giving you guys that because that's what I thought I thought that's what it was. And maybe I'm just the only one. So you got me on y'all get what y'all get. I'm just sitting here. This is what I do. I get my little warm blanket. I got a heated blanket. And I got my little foot thing here. I'm to massage my feet in the morning. And I just, I sit here and I work and I just think about, some of my goals, what I want to do, get things done for the house, make sure bills is paid, check the mail, make sure everything is caught up where it needs to be. And, and then sometimes I go into the office, I go.
Hey, Mamere. Hey. Did I see Smiling with Aaron was in here? Hey, Smiling with Aaron. Joanne is in the house. Bonita Howard. Thanks for being in here.
And Gregory works full time during the day. He works in inpatient. So
yes, please, Mamere, drop Q's link and drop Aaron's link.
Maintain the office. Make sure
everything
is going well.
Our crew. Go ahead and drop it if you do.
And
I was speaking over sweet and sour. Yes, definitely. There's enough to go around. Please, Mamere, drop our good friends' links. We have Smile and Aaron, content creator, super duper positive. Love her. We have Q and DJ's channel. Fast forward if you need to, right? And we have Q and DJ's channel. They're starting out. It's super positive. She's been having like a morning affirmation routine kind of thing. Yeah. So here, let's get this to where she can talk.
Being married to a doctor, it's just, I've been pulled in a lot of directions. And not only that, still having to work my regular job. It's been a lot, y'all, but I'm making the most out of it. I'm reassessing some things and analyzing my life and what I need to do to prepare for the things that I want to do as far as, being a mother, creating a family. And so I'm just trying to, I'm just a regular person just trying to figure it out. Really to help me with my stress, I purchased a mat because one of my girlfriends in DC that used to do my hair, Danita, hey Danita girl, hey boo. She took me outside and she really went on a spiritual journey. And she took me outside and she said that, whether it's rain, sleet, or snow, she goes outside and she lays her mat down and she meditates. And she also, talks with God. And I've seen my grandmother has some. And I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, I got my dress. I did order a couple of sold to the industry. I ain't never seen my mouse act like this before. Yeah, I gotta get a new mouse.
I gotta fast forward her. She's just
for whatever reason. I'm not happy.
Damn, I can't.
So everybody wants that. Am I going to reunion? And we are literally a week before reunion. And I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, I got my dress. I did order a couple of options. I do have a gorgeous custom made dress. It looks really pretty. I don't even want to reveal too much of it. And I don't want the dress to go to waste either. Because I'm like, if I do a reunion, what should I do it on my couch? You know what I'm saying? But if I'm doing it and with open arms to welcome me, and then all of a sudden just flip a switch randomly, just invite me on to go with me, and I just feel like I was just a penny to them. I was just a dollar sign that we normally would not have to deal with. And in that moment was a moment of you guys seeing that in real time. This is stuff that
Okay, here it is. Finally, this is her Stockholm syndrome, excusing away what Dr. G did to her in front of a camera, in front of 8 other couples that are his friends. So he has the power dynamic in that relationship. And listen to her excuse his treatment of her away as it's just something married couples go through. No, bitch, this is what Quad went through, and that's why she left his ass and he begged her to stay because he likes to be in control of people. Let's listen. I'm going to rewind it. So it's at 15:58. If you go back, let's go to 15:18. See about it.
Now you have an issue. You ain't gonna be running full speed at my husband over some bull. After I just spoke with you on the boat and said, "Hey."
Oh, okay. So here we go. I'll slow it down a little too.
In a way, somewhat, but like she don't call me. I'm not gonna call her. And then the spat after somebody tried to attack my husband, and then you don't even know really what all went down and what was said. And given everything from what I've seen, the guy walked up to my husband and squashed it, and then now all of a sudden you come back again in the heat of the moment. Like, was that a beat that was given? Was there a beat that was given? Or is it really you had an issue? Because there was no issue the night before. Then it was an issue the next day, kind of, sort of. And then once y'all squash it, now you have an issue. You ain't going to be running.
So you hear what she said? She doesn't think that it's an issue for her husband to cuss out other women who he's still in love with, but no longer married to. She said there's nothing wrong with that. And that King, by proxy, should have not had a problem once he found out that Dr. G was sitting there antagonizing him, talking about, yeah, I told your woman to shut the fuck up because we have history. So you're telling me that that's acceptable? Listen, she's crazy.
Full speed at my husband over some bull. After I just spoke with you on the boat and said, "Hey, let's not get involved." And now all of a sudden, now you want to get a moment for TV? One, I didn't agree with anything that Gregory said. I think that he was still up in his own head, and people need to keep in mind in these moments, things are amplified, and we're caught up in a lot of stuff that we normally would not have to deal with. And that moment was a moment of you guys seeing that in real time. Like, this is stuff that, yeah, he felt like he was in danger. Y'all got the real shoot. In relationships, you gonna have arguments. It ain't the end of the world. Like in a marriage, I feel like in a marriage, it take work. The stuff ain't easy at all. This is year 2, been with Gregory.
All I know is that my year 2 of marriage, even after 10 years of dating the same guy, because I'm that black, where we dated for 10 years, and then I woke up and I was like, you're not gonna keep milking this cow for free. And then we got married. My first 2 years weren't like that. We weren't fighting like that. Because we're not fighting like that.
Since we've been knowing each other since 2020, we got together in 2021 officially. We've been together for a minute. Okay, you're gonna have some arguments. You don't want to go upside his head? Yes. Do I? Yes. Sometimes I do. Can you do that? No. You have to be able to resolve issues. And I think, I don't know what happened in that previous marriage, but you're not in that today. Me and Gregory were able to sit down and talk about things, and we got this chance to film, and we talked about a lot, but we didn't show the video because he just was like, I don't want to be involved with just fun stuff. Like, I just want to have fun. I don't want to have to talk about deep things and relive things, because you guys have to keep in mind in reality TV, you relive this stuff. And so, we were going to cook, but instead I was like, well, let's talk about the episodes. And he hasn't normally been there to talk about the episode, but because like Gregory's dealt with a lot of stuff.
She was gonna cook like Quad. She was gonna cook like Quad in Quad's kitchen. Okay? Because that's what they usually do. Because she's living Quad's life, you guys. To the sweet and savory, the sass of it all. The sweet and savory of it all, down to the sweet and savory.
So yeah, let's get into the meat and potatoes of things. We got to talk about the couples trip, babe. The show is really about the women, and so I don't think that the men get a chance to really speak their truth. Gregory, he's a very busy man, so he doesn't really always have the time. He's not going to get on his YouTube channel because he's on my YouTube channel. He's not going to get on his Instagram, his social media, because he's a real doctor at MD, and he cares about his image, and he does care about his patients, and he's actually working. And so while we are...
You hear her little jabs at the other doctors, and then she wonders why they are always picking on me, because you say shit out the side of your neck all the time. You're high-key aggressive. You come for the smoke and the fire, and then when you get burnt, you're like, oh my God, why is my hand burnt, bitch? Because heat is hot.
kind of unpacking some things. I just want to give you a moment to speak your truth and, you know, your perspective. I want this to be a safe space for you. And, you know, and we're just, you know, just going to talk about some things and what happened.
Mamir, I was just showing her Stockholm to some people who might not have seen it. Listen to his blame it. He's going to blame it on a bad day at the office. And she's like, oh, that's okay.
And I want you to feel comfortable.
Well, I can tell you that I really appreciate that. And I'm really glad that you are handling this way because, I mean, it's been a lot of pressure on you, putting you amongst all these folks. And, you know, now you're at a level where you're like taking control of things and, you know, you're getting on the offensive and it's really making me respect you a whole lot. And I appreciate the show and I appreciate your efforts and I appreciate what you've been going through because it's not been cool. So
it's a lot, you know, and I think that we need to just make sure that the audience knows that we are in a real marriage. And, you know, even outside the show, Gregory always had a relationship with the guys, you know, as much as everybody makes it seem like, you know, why did Gregory come back to the cast and all that? He still always had a relationship with Scott, Curtis, Cecil. And miss anybody else? You had a working relationship with Damon.
I had a relationship with Damon. Me and Damon were cool. Eugene was cool. I was cool with all the fellas. We always got along. I mean, you know, funny thing, like anytime.
Which is interesting to me that after these guys have been around him and Quad for all this time, and after these other professional Black men found out that Quad was being emotionally and physically abused, everybody, I've been going back. A lot of things have been coming up on TikTok. The season six, that's where all the shit blew up when Quad and this dude were married. And in that season, you see and hear them rally behind and for Dr. G and less for Quad. As a matter of fact, the ladies were like constantly questioning her. It was very, very uncomfortable to go back and watch. I was like, damn, I didn't even really notice the first time around that this was how we were treating Quad. I was like, that's harsh. I was like, ooh, I did not even really realize. So for the men, some doctors, some not, to align themselves with another Black male professional who is a known abuser. He even admitted to it in the season 6 reunion in the one-on-one with Quad where she said, you did this to me, you did this to me, you did this to me. And it was horrible stuff. I'm team keep your hands to your fucking self. Just because you marry a man doesn't mean that he gets to put his hands on you aggressively unless you're into that type of shit. I mean, hey, 50 Shades of Grey is that for a reason. If you're into it and it's consensual and you guys are using safe words, by all means, have at it. Poke away, choke her, smack her ass, whatever you need to do to get it done. Which I think is what's happening over at Toya and Eugene's house. I think that like he likes being humiliated. It might get him moist. Anyway. But for them to continue in relationship with this man who obviously has problems. I'm not sure what he gives in a male relationship that these other men continue to align themselves with this man who pokes women, abuses women. The woman left him for abuse. And now 2 years into this other relationship that he got to have on TV, he's already physically abusing her. And she's sitting here making excuses and knowing that those other men had aligned themselves with. I know my husband. He's not hanging around no woman beaters. He would politely just not be hanging out with that fool no more. You know what I mean? I just don't understand why those other men decided to keep this relationship with this man going to the point where they didn't even really check him that we saw. We know now from Dr. Heavenly that Cecil did in fact check old boy. But even that, why didn't we get to see that? We needed to see that Black woman getting protected. Did you guys see that lady in Taco Bell this week? The black lady in New York. I think it was New York. She was in Taco Bell and she went to go use the kiosk, and that freaking security guard slapped the shit out of that black lady for no reason. Did you guys see that? And nobody in that place helped that black lady. As a black woman, I felt so bad because I know that's what we get out in the Publix. Ever since The Color Purple and Harpo's Oprah Winfrey's person sucked that white man in the face and got her ass beaten, jailed. Nobody been helping black ladies. So it was a further reiteration of our solace in our pain that nobody would help you. But I was very pleased to see that Taco Bell incident did end up with about 50 black men showing up at the Taco Bell talking about, you not ever treating any of our ladies like that. Where's the security company? Where's that security guard? What's Taco Bell doing about it? So it turned into a thing. And I was so pleased to see black men show up, even if it was a week later, to protect the black woman. Because the world feels like they can go around slapping black women and it's okay because nobody's expected to do anything.
You guys came in the circle, that you guy was always welcomed, and we always tried to build a friendship. I've got a relationship with people I wasn't even on in the same season with, like Kieran, for example. Me and Kieran are cool. I mean, we shared a few good jokes. I mean, it's like it's always been a safe space, and the guys have always been kind of cool. So
been trying to stand up for certain things in the hospital. He ended up having to leave the hospital. He quit his job.
Before going on the trip, I was kind of like not in the best headspace because of some stuff I was going through, professionally, that was very unfair. And, I really didn't know how to talk about it because I ended up resigning from one of the hospitals I was at because we didn't agree on what I felt proper patient care was. And so, I never in a million years thought I would be in a situation like that. And, being put in a spot where I had to just stand up on my values, and
Don't hit things.
it was difficult. It was difficult, and but I stood up and I made the best decision for me and the best decision for the patients, and I was carrying the weight of the world on my back.
It really was.
And then you think about all the things that you do, trying to be a good doctor, trying to advocate for patients, and and then for some people, they don't have those goals in mind. They are more about money and cutting corners and, in a lot of ways, mistreating people. And I just couldn't go with it, and put me in a situation where I just had to, make another move, and hadn't really fully thought out my next move. So, I mean, and so that was in the back of my mind, though. In the front of my mind was the fact that, hey, I got a good life, I got a beautiful wife, and, we're on this trip, let's just have a good time. And so, that was kind of my thought process going to that evening. I wanted to go and just enjoy myself. I really didn't, plan for anything other than that.
And so I think a lot of people think that psychiatrists, and although they're doctors, they're superhuman, but they're not. They're human. They're human, and things happen. They're gonna go. You have to do it in a marriage.
Okay.
You can't just,
So that was her.
For faith.
Now let's get what we came for. Don't want to keep you guys too much longer. We're just going to look at this video now. Okay. So I know exactly how Dr. Heavenly is saying it. However, she does make one comment in this video. I'll leave it to you to decide where it happened. But she might get in a little trouble. But I get entirely what she's talking about. Me and husband, I was like, husband, is she going to get in trouble for this? He's like, she might, but it's true what she's saying. So let's get to this. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 Act, fair use is permitted.
I love that y'all are watching the show. I love that y'all are so involved. And it seems to me, either y'all not watching, or we just grew up two different type of people. I just don't understand. Like, for me, understand why people voted for Trump. I could not get it. I could not fathom how people could do that. It was baffling me, right? And the same thing with married to medicine. I just don't understand. I mean, we can agree to disagree on a lot of things, but I just don't agree with like oh shoot, I could at least put on some earrings and try to put on some powder and make myself cute. But that's okay. Unlike some of the I got my man, so that don't even matter. Do it. Now, y'all want to argue with me? What's y'all questions? We got people in here now. This ain't the normal time. The key to YouTube, if y'all YouTubers, is being consistent and coming live at the same time. Because I don't come live at any time because I just like talking to y'all. I just do. I really do. I ain't doing nothing. I work Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. I love my job. I do the best job I can do on everybody. And
okay, let me stop sharing and start sharing.
My teeth are natural looking. That's the difference. Like, I don't have all my teeth the same. If you look on my page, but I have on Instagram or go to my website, my teeth do not look the same. You know, some dentists you go to and they have like the same teeth and you know their teeth because the way they look. No. I talk to you, I find out what's best for your facial features. We do a digital scan. We find out what you like, if it's feminine, Hollywood. And I can kind of look, I've been doing this almost 25 years, probably longer than that. I can kind of tell what facial features you need. Now, some people come in, you know, if I'm fixing one tooth, I can't do it like I can do it if I'm replacing the whole arch. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm replacing the whole arch, I know I can make it tooth beautiful. One tooth, I mean, that tooth don't look better than
Look at these comments. You guys have feelings about Dr. G, just like me. Let me pause that real quick and address your comments. Let me see. Thanks again for coming through. I see some other people. I've been thinking 32 is in the house. Thanks for coming through. Yes. I have to go with the names to avoid teabag. Bad. Because I keep using sexual innuendos. Yes. Teabags, right? Let's see. That pissed me off. That lady didn't deserve that. I hope she got paid, right? Yeah, that was horrible seeing that lady get smacked like that. Oh, thanks, hun. I've seen tight tariffs. We all got to help each other best. Yep, as successful as possible. I feel like we're going to get back to bartering, you guys, because these fucking tariffs, we're going to have to just go rummage through our house, see what we already have, put that shit on OfferUp and trade it for something else that we need because the freaking tariffs are about to make this shit unbearable. Case in point, I've been wanting a blender and my blender broke. I had a good old oyster blender with the glass and the blades and everything. Got that stuff for $19.99. Was never over $19.99. I went back to go get my oyster blazer because the glass thing broke. That shit was $69 this week. And it's plastic. Okay? Tariffs. We got to help each other. I didn't see that. I'm glad somebody was coming to her defense. Definitely. She needs to stay off YouTube and keep trying to get that baby for Dr. G before it's too late and he gave her a time frame, right? He gave her that time frame. Oh my gosh, I didn't see that. Lord, prepare me. Yes, you need to prepare. He slapped. If she wanted to taste the taco she was about to eat, it wouldn't have been possible because he slapped the taste out of her fucking mouth. Slapped her. He reached back. They were in New York. He reached back to Texas and slapped her in New York. And then followed her around and verbally was being mean to her. There was other men in there and they were snickering. They weren't black men, but they were snickering at it. Nobody thought nothing to see here, folks. It was a horrible thing to view as a black woman because I know we're under that type of attack. I already fucking know it. The fact is that he's a shrink is more disturbing to me. Exactly. He's a psychiatrist. He's trained in mindfuck. Okay. He's highly trained in mindfuck. He's skilled in the art of mindfucking. And he's been doing a lot of that on our screens. I hate to say it, but T doesn't need a child by him, especially from what we've seen on TV. I was rooting for Dr. G and T. To be honest, T might can take Dr. G. I think so. You're right about that. How are they coming to you for help, but you need help? It's crazy. Yes, Dr. G needs help because it's bad. T just don't know how she got herself in. Yeah, she's holding on for dear life. Kathy, I could see Dr. G having many clients after this, right? I don't see him having many clients. Like Dr. Heavenly has said that this has helped her practice. In spite of what everybody hopes and prays for the downfall of Dr. Heavenly, this show has helped her practice, you guys, because she comes off so relatable and so authentically her, and she's consistently her. And I feel like it really helps with her business. But Dr. G is coming off like a fucking mind fuck manipulator, abuser, narcissist who then makes you the problem for why he just poked your ass. He does make my skin crawl too. Yes. My blender broke too. Oh, you got yours. See, because it was at Christmas right before the tariffs. I waited too late. I didn't think the tariffs were going to happen. I was like, oh, that'll take some time. And we're only in February. And from February to now, it went up an additional $30 fucking dollars. And it's plastic. Yeah, we're in for bartering. The tariff shit is out of control. These corporations are all about profits on our back. I'm not ashamed to admit that I checked the secondhand stores. Oh my gosh, I love the secondhand stores. Shout out to Goodwill and any secondhand store, but they're crazy too. You used to be able to go to Goodwill and get a t-shirt for like under $5. Now they're $10 and somebody else already sweating that shit. Yeah, so let's get back to Dr. Heavenly. Thanks for being here, everybody.
There are other tooth on you, but I can make it look like the other teeth. But if you're coming back to get them anyway, y'all know what y'all came for, is it? Y'all got any questions for me? Y'all see the clips I put on Instagram? Now, those are the clips that the people sent to me. Bravo sends me those clips. I just haven't really been looking at them. And they sent us on the thing, and we're supposed to post them. So I posted some of the clips, and the people had a lot of questions, i.e. concerns, i.e. problems. Now, what's going on? And like I said, the episode has not aired yet. So, I always try to stay within the episode. That's what I try to do, right? For example, if y'all ask me if King gets arrested, my thought process is going to tell you, yes, a police report has been filed. You know what I'm saying? Quad has to get out there and tell the whole story, and you know what I mean? But I'm telling you what happened.
Joanne says that she saw Dr. G way back as a client. I don't want to get into your HIPAA, but was that as a client? How did you feel his professional service was? I'd love to get a quick Yelp on it. And if it's contrary to what we think that it might be the experience, because I'm thinking the experience would be bad because he seems bad on TV. But if he is able to compartmentalize his true professional behavior from what we're seeing on TV as an abuser, then I would love to know what that experience was like for somebody who saw him in a professional capacity. If I'm sharing, Joanne.
The episode, right? That's where I'm at. Now, understand this. This is my point of view. This is what I see. I'm not filming with the other people. And a lot of times on TV, some of the stuff is the first time I ever see it. I ain't filming with them. When the people in the elevator talking to their man, I've never seen that before because I wasn't around, right? I don't talk to them people. I keep up with Simone, of course, Quad. I keep up with Jackie, of course. And I really, I talk to Toy on and off. I don't have no beef with Toy, but I don't talk to her that often. And I really like Dr. Mimi. Dr. Mimi is straightforward. She's sweet.
Wait a minute. So Joanne did not see him in as a professional capacity. She saw him in the streets, you guys. She saw him in the streets. Make it make sense is in the house. Thanks for coming through. He says, I'm torn. Dr. G has a proven misogynist and suffers from little man syndrome, micropene, as we like to call it. But I still believe Quad used him to social climb and left when she had money. Sweet Tea needs to run because the money ain't worth it. Yep, all money ain't good money. I don't know. It could have been a social climb situation because he never was as attractive as Quad. Like, I'm not sure what swag he could have had to catch a 10 dime piece like Quad. So perhaps you're correct that there was some thought behind getting someone who was in looks wise beneath her and needed her to help him because he's a regular schmegular guy. So that maybe they social climbed each other. Maybe he was like, I'll choose you because I need a trophy wife. And she was like, I'll choose you because you have the said social standing. However, Quad was also already known within the medical community. Her and Toya were pharmaceutical reps, weren't they? Her and Toya both have medical history. So, yeah. But that's a good point. Oh, look, they're all, hey, handsome Mims. Oh, and Joanne is clarifying, no way in the same room with him, right? Especially behind a locked door. Quad was homeless and living off Mariah's money after her drug dealing boyfriend went to jail. Mariah got her on the medical cells and introduced her to the medical community. Oh, well, good for her. So she pulled a Monique Samuels. Monique was homeless, living in her car outside of Chris Samuels' office while he was dating the other woman. And that's why, remember, Chris Samuels' mom was like that heifer. Remember, because she liked the other lady that was Chris's woman when Monique needed a job. Hey, maneuvering is happening in the streets of Atlanta. Maneuvering is happening. Miss Gigi, good day. From the outside looking in, for whatever reason, they both used each other. Yep. Quad just did it better. Not a fan of either of them. Quad said that it was a lie. She wasn't homeless. And I'm willing to believe what Quad says over what Mariah says. Mariah seems like a liar. Mariah was a shit starting liar. Mariah never proved anything she said. She never brought her receipts. So she did make a lot of allegations and things, and she says it like it's the truth, but it doesn't make it the truth. You know? Yeah, Monique. We did a deep dive over here on Monique when she did that mollywhopping about Candace's head. And Gigi. Remember, we had the whole Gigi Facebook thing. Gigi had been going around to lives. And that's where the whole story about the trainer's baby came from and her situation when she first met Chris. Gigi was very forthcoming and was like, yeah, you guys don't remember that? It's in my archive someplace. It's in here. It's in here. I have like over 1,000 videos in here. And I caught a lot of shit over the years, you guys. So yeah, it's definitely in here and addressed. Let's keep listening to Dr. Heavenly.
And I think she's a good fit. I really do. And the people say it's not up to us, but it is. It is. Y'all can't come on our show and be violent. Y'all can't come on our show and push people. We don't do that. We don't do that. We don't do that. So when you connect with somebody, everybody's looking at you sideways that you don't have any self-control. Now I'm reading the questions. Come on, slow the question down, baby. Bring me a question. I'm straight up. Why Quentin Rucker? Why the fuck Phaedra speaking in tongues and playing with God? Now, the point with this is, depending on what church you went to, because I've been talking to different preachers, and different preachers have different things to say about that. I don't want to touch on it too much, but I will say this. I talked to my husband about it, because I don't have that gift. I've never done that. So I did it so I could leave. So I don't really think I ever really have done that. My husband had that gift since he was a little boy. Now, he said initially it was uncontrolled. It just happened and he could not stop it. But now he can control it. Like, I got to take that back. I don't know. It is interesting that after all that happened, it's a gift. After all that happened. But I do know that some people do it and don't really have the gift. Now, I know that to be fact because I've seen people do it. But she did it so she could leave. LOL. I mean, I don't know. We're going to break through it.
Sorry, I hit the mute button.
They help me a whole lot. Why does production tend to show you in a negative light? I don't think they do. In what fashion? Because honestly, if they come in a negative light, honestly, I swear I'm just being myself. I speak what I think is truth. It might sound shady. I joke a lot, but what negative light? Because if you're looking at Quad, okay, I did eat that. I did bring sweet tea, but I wasn't the only one. We all did that, so I would eat that, right? And that's why I'm so team Quad this season. If you watch the show and continue to watch it, I'm still indebted to Quad because I did. But I am going to correct it. And y'all watch and see. Mark my words. If I bring you in, I can take you out. That's all I'm going to say about it. So mark my words. I messed up, and she's right. Nobody would put their ex on it. I thought it was fun. I thought it was funny. You know what I mean? You don't think things through. But after we seen two people with it, I wouldn't want that. I apologize. I apologize for getting it again. What I'm saying? I do. Is it good for ratings and you okay with it because I'm not? I think they show me the bad. In what fashion? What fashion? Do it right again. Tell me what I look bad at. Because if y'all gonna say that I look bad for bringing sweet tea, we all brought sweet tea, and that's been known if y'all watching it. You know what I'm saying? Sweet tea is a sweet girl. She really just is. She really is. She's just in a bad situation where she cannot control her emotions. She's hit several people, pushed several people. They've not shown it, and we just can't tolerate it if you cannot keep your composure. And I know it ain't easy. For example, she's new to this. She's much younger than us. We're way more versed than her. More educated, more everything. So of course she's intimidated. Of course she feels insecure, if you will. So I understand it. However, if you're going to be in this room You can't put your hands on people. You cannot put your all the stuff that happened with me and Contessa. She never once touched me. She never once touched me. That little girl, she's touched people. That's what I'm trying to tell you. So you gotta have self-control. You just really do. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you can curse people out. You can talk because that's allowed. And I think a lot of times when you're talking, you may say the wrong thing, but you can't touch me. Don't touch me. Why they lift our dog, man? I think that everyone gets an edit, and I think that 70% of the time, it's been said to me, 70% of the time they try to give you a good edit, and then 30% you may get a bad edit. I think they've been very easy on Sweet Tea and her husband, in spite of what y'all seen. I'm gonna say this again and again for everyone, not just them. When you look at the events and the arguments and stuff like that, even with me and Contessa and all, a lot of them they haven't shown, like Quad and Sweet Tea or Contessa and Quad, or what they haven't shown it because I think when they're telling a story, they only have 7 minutes and it has to make sense in the line of things. So if they can't get the story out in the sense that it makes sense for what's going on, then they cut it all out because they only got 7 minutes and we got 7 hours of edit of tape. So it makes sense what they're doing, but I think that everybody's helped. And in certain times, everybody looks bad at some point. That's my thought. I don't think that I look mean. I really don't. I mean, y'all can say that. I do know that Phaedra's putting out a campaign to say that we're mean girls. I've been told that she's doing it, and you'll see a lot of fake people, a lot of fake posts. If you look at them, they're either private or they don't have any followers or very few followers, and they follow each other. So it's hundreds of people out there like that, but they're fake. But mean girls, I don't think we are. I just really don't. I think that we're straightforward. I think we've all done some mean things at times. But don't all reality TV do mean things? Have they not done mean things on Real Housewives? Has Phaedra not done mean things? I'm just asking. Because I don't think we've done anything meaner than anybody else. I really don't. I really don't. I just think that they don't have time, Ashley. I really don't think they have time to show those things. I think that it has to make sense. It has to go in order. And I don't think they have time to show everything. I really just don't. I really don't. I think that the people always say I'm talking about Phaedra, but y'all asses always ask me about her. I'm going to tell you again and again. It did not play out how Phaedra. If you look at it and you got common sense, you're going to say, hey, a lot was cut out. What happened was, and I'm going to say this and I'm going to leave it alone. Phaedra knew Apollo was coming. In fact, she was in cahoots with him coming. They had a conversation. On the show, it's going to look like Heavenly invited him, and she did on TV. But before she did, I knew to call Phaedra and say, Phaedra, this is the shit that's about to go down. I'm inviting Apollo. She said, no, Heavenly, I already know. I got it. I said, what you did not know is that I'm inviting the wife too. She said, oh, no, I ain't worried about that. He's not going to do no shit like that to me. They're not going to do no stuff like that. So I said, okay, you got it. I told her everything, which makes me baffled that she's trying to pretend like she's mad at me because I told her everything. I told her that we invited Shireen, but then he told her, and he told me as well, that Shireen wasn't coming. Now, she knew that Apollo was coming. I'm going to say this again. And then she thought that she would play with him and bring one of his friends. Now, do I think they that close? No, because shit, I don't know. I ain't gonna say this. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna take it back because Toya did this and this happened on camera. Toya asked the dude straight up if he was gay. So nobody really thought this shit was really with Phaedra. Nobody thought that seriously. Nobody. But she brought him, and that was Apollo's friend. So Apollo found out. Now I don't know who told him. I don't know if Chet told him. I don't know what Chet would be other than trying to get some limelight and be on TV. Why he would come to his friends' ex-wives thing to me. And I agree with y'all. Phaedra don't owe them shit. They don't. But they got a whole other story over there about what happened. I ain't got nothing to do with it. I don't have anything to do with it. My point is, Phaedra knew that the man was coming. I told Phaedra, Shireen may be coming. She said it wasn't gonna happen. I believed her because she got pulled in the network. I'm telling you, she got pulled. If she didn't want Apollo there, he wouldn't have been there. So he came and he brought his wife as a surprise, which I found out right before we got on the boat. They had me call him and say, hey, y'all coming? They told us just before we got on the boat. I'm just trying to clear my name. That's all, because I'm a messy bitch. I am messy, but I wouldn't do nothing like that. When I see the turmoil, even Simone, when we had that her day, I told Simone, this is the question. Now, is it okay to ask you? Yeah, girl, we good. I give people heads up. I really do. Ask anybody. That's why they don't be that man. Why the hell ain't that man? Because he haven't told y'all. Long story short, he brought his wife, and his wife came with a battery in her back, whatever she wanted. But I think that Apollo them had it right. She read Phaedra for filth. To the point where Phaedra could not say anything. They only played one part, but she said she don't care. They talked about a lot of different things. Okay, it was a long time. I was sitting on my knees. That's why I failed. I thank God that I failed because I don't know what would happen because I felt so uncomfortable. I felt uncomfortable because I was like, I didn't tell everybody that I invited Apollo. So clearly, Sweet Tea didn't know who invited. She probably didn't know, but I didn't tell her. She told me, surprised me. I didn't tell anybody. So my whole thing is, the whole thing I'm talking about this is because I want to clear my name. Phaedra knew. I did not know Shireen was coming. Shireen cursed Phaedra out. Phaedra did not want to film with me anymore because she knew I had the truth, and then she was going to try to flip it and make it seem like I invited Apollo without her knowing, but they played it. And I didn't think they were going to play it either. I thought they were going to play it in her favor. But they showed, no, we in a good place. Go ahead and invite him. Now she got this campaign out here that we mean girls know you just got played. So when she did agree to film with Jackie, I don't know if this played yet or nothing because I've seen them all. And she blames Jackie. She says, well, Jackie, you're the one I trust the most. How did you let this? First of all, I'm gonna tell you, Apollo in the jail. Shireen looked like she fight for fun. I wasn't finna take up for somebody I clearly knew. I take up for Jackie and she ain't never took up for me. I'm finna take up for Phaedra. I don't even know her like that. So why would I take up for her? So she's making it seem like I'm the devil and all this flipping it, but she won't do a scene with me because she know I got the truth. She didn't come to the reunion. It's threefold ways if she didn't come to the reunion. First of all, I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna take it back. Even if she did, she wasn't gonna give shit. She would have been like, child, please, child, what's all this land y'all talking about? I'm doing child. So it wouldn't have made a difference. Honestly, it wouldn't. Second of all, they allowed her not to come. Third of all, she knew that I was going to tell the truth. I would have respect for her because I do. I would have got to argue with her like sweet tears. I would be like, just afraid to tell the truth. And she didn't want it. So she didn't come. And in her mind, she might feel like, okay, I'm not giving the ratings. We're going to get the ratings anyway. Because that reunion was on fire. Hell, I can do a reunion by my dang self. Now I got Clark. I got this silly ass sweet tea. I got Contessa trying to work for her next damn season. Oh no, we had a reunion. We had a reunion, and the interesting thing, Phaedra was not a big part of it at all. At all. They mentioned her maybe once, and then it was done. So yes, I thought that last year she brought Apollo because she did nothing all year. This year she allowed Apollo to come because she knows she needed a story, but it backfired because he was not supposed to bring his wife. And when she did, he did. She was pissed. She was pissed. Now I don't know what's going on with Shireen and Apollo right now. I did speak to Shireen. She's fine. But that's the story, and I'll stick to it. It is. I would never do that. I would never. That's my whole thing. I don't care what happened, but y'all ain't gonna put my name in that shit because I wouldn't have done that. I let that bitch know, and she was well in cahoots of knowing that Apollo was coming. I did not know the wife was coming, but when the wife came in the end of the day, I was like, oh shit, my heart would beat fast. Like I didn't know what was about to happen. Then I didn't know Shrek knew them, so it was a lot. But anyway, moving on. Stephanie, bring up the next super chat because
that was a lot, you guys. So far, she just reiterated that freaking Phaedra knows. And she thinks the same thing I think, that there's some kind of bot plot going on to help drive this narrative of the best show on Bravo all of a sudden being reduced to a 4-ring circus of mean girls. Please. And if you notice, some of the same talking points Sweet Tea hits on. So I feel like this is all Phaedra's training camp of traitorous behavior towards your ensemble cast people. Yeah, have a great day, Kathy.
of course they're not gonna play that. I think before Dr. G signed his contract, they agreed not to talk about their DB because they haven't really talked about it. Now it was on previous seasons and people keep reposting it. However, they have not talked about it. They told us not to talk about it. So they cut that part out. I think because he's a doctor, they don't want to put that out of light, but he said it. He said it. He said it. He said exactly. They said it before, but I think that was one of the contentions of him coming back. Is he said we cannot talk about that part. It's my part, musical. That's my thought. I can only go by what I think. I don't know.
And see, that's been part of my thing in my reviews thus far. Is like I have an issue with hostile work environments that allow me to not feel safe while I'm at work, right? And so over on Love and Marriage Huntsville, they had this whole thing already happen. And in reality TV en masse, I feel like there's a reckoning happening with the revelation that our reality stars are in danger on set. And I just don't think that that's a good place to be. And so for Bravo to, I've been saying, it feels like Bravo is harboring, creating a safe space for known admitted abusers, specifically men abusers towards women. And this is not the first gentleman on Bravo where there has been some type of physical, emotional, verbal abuse towards a woman in the same cast, and that man get protected, but the woman ends up on with like this narrative being talked about her. So I'll take you guys all the way over to Beverly Hills, to West Hollywood, to Vanderpump Rules. Anybody that watches Vanderpump Rules knows about this guy named Jax. Jax was a freaking narcissistic, community peen, emotionally abusive kind of dude who would use women. I even feel like if you use women for sex under false pretenses, that's also a form of abuse because you had to lie to get what you wanted from between her legs. That's emotional. That's manipulation. Why not just have, you know what I'm saying? So Jax is one of them. And Jax was emotionally abusive to a lot of women. He mistreated women constantly on that set. And all he ever got was spinoffs, you guys. Also, John freaking Vanderpump Rules. They have this dude named James Kennedy who calls himself on a TV that he's the white Kanye. And then he hangs out with this white girl named Lauren who calls herself Lala, who calls herself the white Tupac. Yeah. So the white Kanye, James, has assaulted now 3 women on set. And he was just about to get another spinoff. And he gets constantly protected by the network in as much as he gets to continue working and get paid. The first lady's face, who he smushed, I wasn't a Kristen Doty fan, but he smushed Kristen Doty's face and spit on her on camera. That's a fucking assault. He got more time. She got fired. And then he starts going out with Rachel Leviss. Everybody knows about Scandal. And she had just had a nose job. And he got mad and smushed her face so hard, they needed to set up feet finders accounts to sell pictures of their feet so she could get her nose corrected because James Kennedy smushed her nose so hard, she needed to get her nose job redone, you guys. And then who got fired? Rachel Leviss got fired off of that show. And then James ended up with Ali Luber. And him and Ali Luber have now had at least no less than 2 to 3 separate physical altercations that Bravo has known about. But who still works at Bravo? James Kennedy. And now we have Dr. G over here. He admitted what he did to Quad in season 6. And we've been seeing him in some of the clips since season 6 in the background. Dr. G has been popping up. And while Quad didn't get fired, they did try to fire Quad, but luckily she has some good Sallies on the show that refused to let her go. Cough, cough, Dr. Heavenly. But here we come again with Bravo having information about women's safety on set from a particular person, and that person gets no mention of their abuse, but Quad is being silenced. Dr. Heavenly can't talk about what was already talked about by the 8th housewife. We can literally go back to season 6 and watch all the things that Dr. Heavenly is referring to that Quad admitted during that season when her marriage was dissolving with Dr. G. That was season 6. And I'm just not with it. I don't understand why Shireen had so much smoke for Phaedra and she was a side chick. Who knows why she had smoke? Maybe because Phaedra's always sitting around talking about her ass. Who knows? Maybe because who knows? I don't know. But hey, I definitely wanted to see Phaedra cry. I would have loved to see what made Phaedra cry. Because she thinks she's the one that needs to go. She says things so mean with such malintent. She wants to make a bitch cry. So I would have loved to see Phaedra cry. Not Dr. Evilly fan, but do believe what she's saying. The wordsmith, screwface Phaedra will spend anything to make herself look good or like the victim. Exactly. I wonder if the men group has backed away from Dr. G. Well, okay. So in a previous live that we shared here on Dr. Heavenly, that was a question of where do the men stand now with Dr. G? And she answered it by saying, oh, they were fine with Dr. G until he tried to until the police charges thing against King, and said that we're all going to see it play out. You have a back question, Mims? Drop the link. I can't drop a link on YouTube Live. That's the only thing. I want you to come up. I love Mims POV. But on YouTube Live, I can't drop a link for some reason. It doesn't let me do a link from the actual live. And I'm using YouTube Live straight. Like I just click the plus up there and said go live. And when I do it from my phone, it gives me an option to have a link for it. But when I do it from my laptop like this, it does not give me that option. But still, drop it in the thing and we can get at it, Mims. I love you. Thanks for your input. Oh yeah, Mims, did you hear my new freaking
I go by what I think and what I see.
intro?
Bravo after show. So if they did, I would love to be a part of it. I mean, they say after show, is this not good enough for your bread? Is this not good enough for your bread? I think it's good.
Oh yeah, Mims, did you hear my new freaking?
Why did Contessa start the room with Damon Angela? You know what? It really cheapens Contessa. The problem I have with Contessa is she's trying so hard to trauma bond with Sweet Tea. And I don't know what y'all seen yet. But clearly, there's a difference between, and I'm going to tell you, there's no perfect marriage. I say on TV all the time, my marriage is perfect. There's no perfect marriage. But what bothers me about Contessa is that she will approve of the treatment that Dr. G gives Sweet Tea, saying, hey, everybody, I just everybody go, no, they don't. All that gaslighting and lying to people and playing with their minds, husbands don't do that. That's not the right thing to do. That's not the right thing to do. My husband would never tell me that somebody broke in the house and I'm being held by gunpoint. That's crazy. You're playing with somebody's mind, right? My husband would never make me feel like I'm little to nothing and belittle me. And you know what I'm saying? And to me, Contessa in her mind, she might think it's okay because Scott has done the same thing to her. You know what I'm saying? He said, I got a life coach. I don't have a life coach. I'm going out here to Istanbul, Turkey. I'm going, and they find out he's doing something else. Or everything that he's doing, he's playing games with her mind. And Dr. G's doing the same thing. So she's accepting of it. Now your question is, illegitimate kid. To me, that's stupid. Like, bring them. My whole thing is, if they got the last name Times, which she say they do, and she's saying this with a straight face. To me, she's ruining her brain. Because who gonna believe anything she says after this? To me, I'm tired of talking. Because if Damon got some kids, if Damon got a bitch, let me just go and fight her. Let me just go and fight her so this shit can be over with. Because y'all can play this shit for years. Let me just go and fight and get my ass whooped so it can be over. Because I ain't gonna believe it no way. And if he did, I ain't leaving them. But kids, you took it too far with that because that's not even believable. Come on now. Illegitimate children. Now, when y'all said I had some grandkids till I found out it was the Epimel, I was like, shit, I might would love to have them. I wouldn't keep them as a secret. Why would I keep a child a secret? But if Damon did have some kids, we'll be fishes over here because the woman would be gone. I'd be straight up by on the neighbors because I love my man. But that's stupid. It's stupid. Moving on. It's stupid. That's stupid. Now, the stuff that's going on in the medical community about Scott is real. Now, I'm just going to say that and take it back. But anyway, any other super chat? Praise the Lord. But I just came in here to talk to y'all for a little minute to answer some of y'all questions because y'all got questions. All I wanted to do, I don't got no problem with Phaedra. I'm just clearing my name. I would not have done that shit. I wouldn't. And I don't know why she's calling me to death.
Let's see. Make it make sense. I don't understand why people believe Phaedra when she called Shireen a mistress. She was dating and Apollo was dating before the divorce. Mr. Chocolate. Exactly, Mims. That's why you're here. Because people don't listen to me. Maybe they'll listen to you, Mims. Phaedra's a fucking liar. She's a liar. She was dating Mr. Chocolate. Yes. And that's why when she was in the garage and he allegedly chased her around with a screwdriver, and she's like, get away from me with that now. Get away from me with that now. And he was asking her about Mr. Chocolate at that same time. So that's not a side chick if Mr. Chocolate wasn't side dick. Right? She didn't even know her due date. She lied from the moment we met her ass. I was kind of sure that the baby got made on a conjugal visit, which is why she was lying about the due date. Because who cares if you got pregnant before you got married, unless you got pregnant on a conjugal visit in jail. Yep. She lied with Apollo stating Kenya asked him for sex, accused Candy of trying to grape Portia, and was exposed for being part of a crime syndicate with Angela Stanton. Thank you. And Apollo. Hello. Why is Phaedra considered the truth teller now? That's what I've been wondering, Mims. I'm like, how is everybody rallying behind the known liar? Uncontested, with receipts, known liar versus Dr. Heavenly and her truth bombs. Uncontested, known liar against Quad. An uncontested, known liar against Dr. Jackie. An uncontested, known liar even against Dr. Simone. coming on over here to Married to Medicine to muck up the waters as the cooler. I'm told you that's why I think she's the cooler, because she's an obvious, known, undisputed liar who was brought to the best show on Bravo to murky up the waters. That's why I'm feeling the way I'm feeling, Mims. All of your comments right here is exactly why I feel the way I'm like, this had to be a plot to thwart Black excellence on Bravo. That's what I'm thinking. But they didn't do very good, because it's still the most excellent show, because in true Married to Medicine style, they are even able to resolve the issue of a known liar in their presence. They know how to rally together. They know how to hold the line. They know how to hold the line against a freaking enemy like who comes in a Trojan horse with a fabulous wig and a smirk named Phaedra Parks. Okay? The men should have checked Dr. G when he admitted there was DV. And that's what I'm saying, Zelene, which is another question. They all kind of just sat there. Nobody seems to have counseled their good friend about how he appeared on TV and why he's not welcome in their house anymore, because they have reputations to uphold, and being around a freaking known abuser who doesn't see any problems. His answer then to why he abused Quad was because we both did it to each other. His answer with Sweet Tea now is because he had a bad day at work. That's not a better answer, you guys. That's classic abuser talk. Nobody watched The Burning Fucking Bed but me. I don't understand how we could create space for an abusive ass doctor. It's just like a cop. If a cop was banging his wife's head in the wall, you wouldn't want him just out in the community trying to tell other people what they're doing right and wrong, because he left the house wrong. So who are you to come out here with a whole pow and judge us? You need to go handle that, sir. Sounds like both of them cheated at the same time. Exactly. Same thing with Portia and Fallon and Simon Gobadia and the pool boy, right? It was a free situation. Y'all was doing it to each other. It wasn't like Melody Holt sitting at home thinking that she wasn't getting cheated on by Martell and he was out being community peen at the gym, bouncing on the mattress, coleslaw. It wasn't like that situation. Melody wasn't cheating also. Preach, Mims. I've been wondering this too. It's like she came to the show. Now everyone has forgotten her past and she's a victim. Exactly. Fad just needs everything and everyone to stop as a stepping stone. Exactly. Yikes. She used to defend her with Candy Thing. Yep. Burning Bed. Classic movie. Classic. About don't be abuser. Don't be a fucking abuser or you'll end up in ashes. Okay? We're almost done.
And all that, because I told her everything, and I had not spoken to her since then. But I told her everything. I even texted her. I said, Phaedra, what are you mad about? You know what I'm saying? I told you everything. She said, yeah, I know. I know. Okay. I don't know. I think she was playing it. I think that she thought she had them in the bag, and they were not going to show her that I gave her heads up. They were not going to show that I gave her heads up. So now it don't make no sense for her to be so mad that she just got to leave. Now, she knew she was leaving, so she wanted to make a grand exit, and she did, but it wasn't on me.
Smash the like button, you guys.
Y'all can blame me. Y'all can blame me all day about it. These are two grown people. They had a choice to come back to the show. Dr. G is old enough to know what it was. He's almost 60 years old. He had been 6 years on the show. He knew what it was. Y'all can put it on me, but how do I blame the people that need to be blamed? My problem with it is he treats her like he's her child. Everything that Quad said about this man, you can see it. What's texting me? You can see it. Yeah, you can see it. So my whole thing is, honestly, Sweet Tea is not my cup of tea, no pun intended, but you have to have a heart of rocks not to feel sorry for that little girl. Keep watching, because she actually, to me, is more mature than her husband. In certain circumstances, she didn't really do anything. But watch how people gaslight each other. It's all your fault. It's all your fault. These things happen. It's because of you. My man would never do that. Now, do we argue? Do I curse him out? Yes. Do we argue? Yes. But that kind of shit there, that's not normal. And anybody that's making it normal is crazy as hell. And Contessa crazy as hell.
That part. Anybody that's making this type of treatment within your thing normal, I'm telling you, that's why I'm not with harmful stereotypes, not just to Black people, but harmful stereotypes of like even what it is to be in love. We should not be tolerating any form of abuse in love, you guys. We should not be tolerating controlling, narcissistic, misogynistic ways in a relationship, you guys. We should not be afraid to speak and say what's true and then have to like mind bend our own self to accept the abuse of this person we love, and then so we can make it palatable so we can get a check. It's not supposed to be like that. Let's see. Morning, y'all. The men, let's see. I also don't understand why the viewers are upset with the Married to Medicine ladies making Phaedra work. That's what I'm saying. She gave nothing. Nothing given, nothing gained. That's why there was nothing for her to talk about at the reunion. I did a whole live on it last week. She's not going to be missed. She's all about the appearance. She puts on airs so bad. I can't stand people who put on airs like that. There's not that good of a delivery in the world to make me stand the airs that you put on, Phaedra Parks. I don't think Quad is an angel, but there's a lot of like, and I appreciate about her. Yep. And I'm glad that she has preserved. Yes. Yes. I mean, I did used to have a problem with Quad's accents, and it felt like Quad was putting on airs too. And I used to love when her and Mariah would just be themselves. I felt like the accent would go away and her and Mariah used to just have a little fun, you know? But now Quad's accent has remained steadily this Quad since Sister Circle. And so I feel like she's settled into this version of herself, and I appreciate her. Yeah. Let's finish this up.
To normalize that stuff and say, oh no, everybody go through this. No, they don't. No, not like that. Not playing games with your man. No, we don't do that. And that man a whole psychiatrist and 23 years older than her. We don't play them kind of games. We don't. Mentally, come on now. Let's go. But anyway, what's your question? What is this? Stephanie, you here? I can't find this damn thing. Wait a minute. I got it. They thought it was terrible. They thought it was terrible. Cecil got in between them. We all knew, and even I would say this about Scott.
You might not see this question. So she's answering the question that says, how did the husbands react to Dr. G yelling at his wife the first night?
Scott, I don't like it, but I like Scott. Scott is sending his wife. He really is. I mean, I can see what it is. Blind man can see he's sending his wife, but he's doing it exactly how he should. He's doing it like a man should. He's never said anything appropriate to me this year. Inappropriate to me. He always pleasant with me. Hey, Heavenly, how you doing? I look at him. He's like, we good. Like, he's sending his wife, and that's how it should be. The men should never be in correspondence with the women, and vice versa. I said this at the very beginning. I don't talk to me, and people all laugh at it or whatever, because I know that on TV, it's going to be 10 times more intense. It just is. Y'all ain't never been on TV before, but it'd be 10 times worse than what it is. So when you have a conversation with somebody, and somebody gets upset, and it goes to the left, most men, real men, not gay men, not bitch men, you know what I'm saying, the guys that are kind of soft, but real men are going to feel like, you know what I mean, straight men are going to feel like if you tell my wife.
Okay. So after we watched this yesterday, another thing popped on my feed because I was looking for some more stuff to investigate. And somebody decided to take this comment right here at 25 minutes in and highlight it as something to try to get her in trouble. And they were like, oh, Andy's not going to be happy with this. But you guys just heard the entire context of why she said what she just said, as far as like how the men reacted, right? So she's saying that real men, not bitch men, not gay men, but real straight men would have a problem with it. And I feel like that's within context. And she's basically saying that the reason King had a problem is because he's a real straight man. The reason Dr. G may have had a problem, the reason Dr. Damon and Cecil had a problem with it is because they're real men. The reason Dr. Eugene might have been saying, who she also just said in the previous question, she doesn't think Eugene has a bias for, in a positive way, Dr. G, which I commented on, because in the trailer it shows Dr. Eugene saying, oh, what about Dr. G? He's part of this group, after everybody's talking about what they just witnessed him do and witness him act. Eugene is sitting there simping for him. And so I was like, why is he like simping for an abuser? Talking, oh, he's still in this group. He's a part of this group. And I was like, that's bias. And she's like, not so much. You know, he's just keeping it hot for the TV. So she didn't take it that personal. But I don't think the statement she just made was out of context. Can I get a 1 in the chat if you feel like that was a contextual relaying of her message that, quote, real men, real straight men would have a problem with and speak up on abuse that they witness? Well, I'll let us listen to it real quick one more time, because I don't want there to be any problem with Dr. Heavenly. Yeah, we're getting a 1 because it's totally contextual. But the people who might just take this soundbite right here and try to make it that she's saying something about gay people or something like that, it wasn't that. We're going to listen again. And this is exactly what happened with the whole Dr. Jackie thing. They were on a live. The whole live was a conversation. A question got asked. Dr. Jackie answered that one question within the context of the whole conversation, and my ears weren't offended. As a Black woman who had struggles during a pregnancy, my ears weren't offended. I took zero offense to what Dr. Jackie said. A lot of people still have issues with it. But let's listen one more time right here. Let's start right here.
I'll say this about Scott. I really do like Scott. I don't like Contessa, but I like Scott. Scott is sending his wife. He really is. I mean, I can see what it is. Blind man can see he's sending his wife, but he's doing it exactly how he should. He's doing it like a man should. He's never said anything appropriate to me this year. Inappropriate to me. He always pleasant with me. Hey, Heavenly, how you doing? I look at him. He's like, we good. Like, he's sending his wife, and that's how it should be. The men should never be in correspondence with the women, and vice versa. I said this at the very beginning. I don't talk to me, and people all laugh at it or whatever, because I know that on TV, it's going to be 10 times more intense. It just is. Y'all ain't never been on TV before, but it'll be 10 times worse than what it is. So when you have a conversation with somebody and somebody gets upset and it goes to the left, most men, real men, not gay men, not bitch men, you know what I'm saying, the guys that are kind of soft, but real men are going to feel like, you know what I mean, straight men are going to feel like, if you tell my wife to shut the fuck up, I'm going to have a problem with it. I mean, that just, it is. No matter who you are.
See? So I don't have a problem with that comment. And we heard her whole 25 minutes through now. And so it's not like she's bashing anybody. She was using it as a comparison to why perhaps Dr. G himself would be an abuser, because that's not real man shit. To me, real men don't poke women. They're not exerting force on women. They're not trying to manipulate and control women. That's my version of real men. To me, what Dr. G did was bitch shit. It was very less than man shit. It was sub-man behavior. It was bitch. It was Mitch. It was, I don't know how to frame it different. I don't even need to bring an LGBTQIA into it. It has less to do with gay for me, because there are gay men who would go for bat for women also. But I feel like her context is just that men like Dr. G support Dr. G. And men like King support King. That's a good way to say it. Mademoiselle, I get it. Mademoiselle said that I have a problem with people love talking around sound bites, blowing the truth out of proportion. It's freaking annoying, S. Lover says. Thanks for being here. One, she didn't say anything that wasn't true. I have issues with what Jackie said. Zelene, yes, because Bravo had no business bringing Gregory back. Gregory. See how we feminize him? I told you his G was for girl, because that's Mitch behavior, is when like you're kind of effeminate in a bad way. Like, right. Because I love a well-rounded man who like is in touch with his feminine and masculine side. Both are necessary to truly evolve in this life. But if you're more Mitch than you are man, like that's an issue. Re-raw back, especially the torment quad. Yep. Also, it looks like mini RHOA is looking love and hip hop. Yeah, the Real Housewives of the Titanic is very love and hip hop. Yes. Okay, we're almost done, you guys. Smash the like button. Thanks for being here.
So we thought it was wrong for him to yell at his wife, but that's his wife. So nobody really stood in there. That wasn't our business to be that. I'm gonna make my comments. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna say what I think. But that, honestly, at the end of the day, that's between him and her. The problem lies is when he told Quad to shut the fuck up because King didn't hear it initially. He didn't hear it initially. It was like, and then Dr. G could have just kept quiet. But he said, nah, I told her to shut the fuck up. I told her she talked too fucking much. And then King was like, you said it to her. And that's how that whole thing got started. Now, y'all can say Quad started because she was with them people. But I got my whole life because this is reality TV. If you can't handle it, you can't. To me, as a man, stand up and tell me shut the fuck up. Now, y'all might disagree with me, but I don't think that was good. I don't think Sweet Tea did anything wrong. I really don't. She didn't say that much. All she said was, well, she did say you lied about 15 times a week. But all us thought that, even though now I think it's true, it might be true. I don't know. I ain't never did it 15 times a week. But it might be true. But everybody was thinking the same thing. She just said it, and she didn't mean nothing. She was laughing like we were laughing. When she said throw that ass in the circle, Sweet Tea was having her whole life just like the rest of us. And that part was funny. The only part that happened was when Dr. G said something because he got in his feeling. And then Quad turned around and started.
Oh, look. Uh-oh. I think it just happened, you guys. Look what happened. I think she took it down. Oh, it must have happened. The video became unavailable while we were watching it, you guys. I think it's because of those comments. Let's go to her page. Let's see, can we get to her page? Search. Yes, it's gone. She removed the video, and you know Dr. Heavenly don't remove the shit. I'm telling you. I told you somebody took that one comment, made a whole video about it, and I was like, this is in context. And that's part of why we were revisiting it this morning, was so we could have the entire context of what she said, because I knew they was coming for her. I knew it. Let me give her a subscribe on my alternate account. Oh, shit. Please don't be in trouble, Dr. Heavenly. Please don't be in trouble. Because they were specifically like, they added Andy. They were like, Andy Cohen isn't going to like this. Because she said, real men. We just heard it. You guys. And then this is even just like life, though. The truth is supposed to set you free, but instead we end up with the liars being in charge and their lies being in charge and accepted as normal. And what she said was free speech. It was true. It wasn't offensive. It was, well, not to me, because I appreciate the truth. However, many people want to try to drill down. The fix is in. That is too bad. Let me stop sharing this. Oh, well. Let me see if it'll do one more thing for us. Is it going to come back? Let's see. It's over, you guys. Damn. Well, at least you guys got to see it. I have the rest of it on the video from yesterday. Because you guys won't be able to see it now. Let me see. Where is it? If you guys want to see the rest of it, I can make, that was only had like 10 minutes left. But I think that's proof that somebody wanted her to pull it because of that comment. That's also, okay, real quick. Remember when Messy Mondays was happening with Carlos King? And she had said something on there too. And it's just the truth. It's totally the truth. I hate people are so fucking overly sensitive. I mean, get mad about the N word with the hard R like it used to be, instead of laughing that shit off and go soft on people's opinions when they're trying to, describe what's happening. I don't know. I don't even know what to say right now, you guys, but we just witnessed her have to take that video down. And I bet it was because of that comment that we saw. And then there was another comment that we didn't even get to yet, but the person didn't do a whole video on it. But somebody was like, oh, why don't you guys bring back the old doctors? And it was talking about that comment, how Phaedra was saying, they chase the new girls away. Nobody can last in this group, right? And Dr. Heavenly was going through listing all the people that she loved on the show. And she's like, oh, Dr. Audra, she was great. And then she said, who was the dark-skinned girl who was on here? And she said, Dr. Alicia. So I think those two comments, she said the dark-skinned doctor, which I don't have a problem with the adjective. People use the adjective for me that's called fat. People might use the adjective called brown. I mean, those are just adjectives, you guys. Those are literally just adjectives. It wasn't being colorist. It wasn't being nothing. It was like, oh, in her mind, she's like, who was the dark-skinned doctor? That's not bad. It's not bad. But that might be part of the problem too, because also in the same video, that was going to be one of the next things she said. Let's see what these comments. She didn't say anything that wasn't true. I love coming up with the names you inspire larger, right? Right? We be getting the names. It's down, Kelsey said. Thanks for coming through. Kid Cruddy, right on. I'm Dr. Heavenly's biggest fan, but she and all the housewives need to stop alluding to being gay as a negative. All the ladies do it for a dig. It's not okay. Okay. Yeah, that's you're entitled to that opinion. I feel like it's a comparison. It wasn't like a dig. It was just like, but if you feel like it was a dig, you're entitled to that perception and you're not wrong for it. I'm just, okay. So like I have a gay man and I'd be like, Theo, go straight. I tell him, Theo, you're supposed to go straight. And he would get so offended, guys. He'd be like, don't tell me to go straight. Don't tell me to go straight. Like he got high key offended and wouldn't talk to me the rest of the ride because I would tell him in directions to go straight. I was like, well, what am I supposed to say? He would be like, say, go ahead, go forward or something. But he took it very offensively if I would tell him as a gay man to go straight, even in directions. So people are entitled to how they feel, but it still doesn't make me wrong for using the word straight in directions. You see? And it doesn't make Dr. Heavenly wrong for in her adjectives that she uses to describe accurately things. And I don't think it was a dig. I thought it was a comparison. And if you feel that way, you're entitled to it. And ever notice how Andy can't be called out in the social streets? Yep. You can make the same point without being overly offensive. Yep. Looks like she feels into a trap. She wasn't equating manhood to heterosexuality. Yes. I'm dark-skinned. It's true and fabulous. Exactly. See? Hello. Can we get a shout out to the ultra melanated who are not offended at the description? Yes, she did. She and other housewives have a habit of using gay, sassy, bitch made, etc. as a dig. It's not okay. If it were Black women being subject to such, you ladies would be up in arms. Okay, so let me think. Yeah, she should have just went on Patreon yesterday. Fuck. But even from Patreon, people be coming over there and taking it. I was one, and then she asked us to stop, and so I stopped. But yeah, it still comes out of Patreon too, but at least it's behind a paywall. To put it on YouTube could be part of the problem. I don't know. I hope it doesn't turn into an issue. Because I could hear Andy being something, but luckily the reunion's already aired. Because I could see Andy saying something like, well, I'm a real man. You don't think I'm a real man? And trying to like, nah, nah, nah. But that's not her point. Her point is Dr. G, I really did. I'm sorry if that offended anybody. I'm sorry, but that's just that's the way I would describe a person who's acting less than a man in my mind. I would describe as a Mitch, which is a male bitch. And that does effeminize Dr. G specifically. And I've never really examined whether or not that could be taken as offensive to somebody who might also be kind of Mitchy. I'm not sure how to even say it now. I don't want people getting all offended. I just like coming up here talking out the side of my neck the way people do in life, you know? I'm not a self-censor type of person. Let's see. Can you guys still hear me? Let's see. Yeah. Yeah, you can hear me good. You can't see this. Let's just stop sharing this. My computer does not want to share that anymore. No worries. Okay, let's see a couple more comments and then we'll be out of here because the video is gone. The world is just super sensitive now, right? I kind of hate it. Growing up, we didn't go through this. I grew up in the 70s. You could talk about your race. You could talk about your mother. You could talk about whether or not you were handicapped. You could talk about everything. They used to have whole sitcoms called Archie Bunker. Archie Bunker used to be a sitcom, and they were so overtly racist on that show that I grew up with a freaking thick skin. Okay. And I feel like when you don't censor yourself or coddle your language, except for high key offensive racial slurs, I feel like pretty much you should be able to say what you want, unless it's a high key offensive racial slur. Black people have had to deal with microaggressions. I'm doing air quotes you can't see right now. Black people have to deal with microaggressions for eons. Why can't everybody else have to deal with what they have to deal with? I'm not offended about the dark skin. I'm dark skinned and use the term to describe people as well. I'm not offended by the dark skin statement. You don't have to be G to be called a baby, to be called BM. Yes, exactly. Exactly. Well, I'm glad that my crew, we find our tribe, like attracts like. It looks like a lot of people here on my curvy crew are not as sensitive as some people could be. And I appreciate that, and are willing to see things in their full context. And I love that, and don't appreciate being censored, which who needs that in America? I mean, it's the First Amendment, freedom of fucking speech. Freedom of fucking speech, y'all. But she had to self-censor and take that video down. I'm glad we got to discuss it today because it's about to be a row in the streets. It's about to be a row. Oh, yeah, I was going to get to Messy Monday. So on Messy Monday, they ended up starting doing pre-records on there because of the things that Dr. Heavenly would say off the cuff. And then she got backlash. It was around some comments. And so they started pre-recording the Messy Mondays with Carlos King. And then he would edit them and chop them so he could have time to censor anything that wasn't palatable, because people love coming for the truth tellers, but they will abide in a liar's ass like Phaedra until the sun shines. I just don't understand it. I love you guys. Smash that like button, smash the subscribe button on your way in or out. Remember, there's enough to go around, so go get some. And let me see one more thing. LRGA Curves. Let me play this on the way out. Where is it? Because I got a new intro, you guys. I'm just going to let it play a little bit on the way out. Here we go. Here we go. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Sorry, you guys. Tell me if you guys can hear this. Oh, my speed was up. Let me put it back. Because my good friend made me this freaking intro music. And so I'm going to start using my intro and outro. Maybe it'll let it play one time on the way out. Thanks again for being here on LRGA Curves. Make sure you smash that like button, smash the subscribe button. I'll see you in the video. Thanks for being here.